abroad program, and students would get credit for doing independent studies. There would be constant presence in the chosen country, and sessions would run for the summer, the fall semester, and the spring semester.
Where would the students go? Students would go to Western Africa, specifically Sierra Leone and Liberia, right here. These nations are small, both geographically and population-wise. Sierra Leone only has 6.5 million people, and Liberia has 4 million people. They're both around 75,000 square kilometers, so it's compact. That allows our efforts to be greatly enhanced, as opposed to say somewhere like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is measured in like millions of square miles. Both nations possess great mineral wealth that can form the basis of a strong and thriving economy. The nations, however, are very, very poor, with per capita GDP at purchasing power parity for Sierra Leone being about $759, and for Liberia only $424. Basically, our plan would be to base in their capitals, like say Freetown, and then go to so we can work with government there, and then start going to the surrounding villages. The problems. First, they're both coming out of very large and long-lasting civil wars, and much of their economic progress that has been made has been driven away. So like foreign investors and foreign capitals, and most businesses get shut down. The lack of infrastructure is fairly extreme. The two nations seem to be on a fairly positive economic track forward before the civil wars, but the civil wars wrecked roads, power plants, food distribution, everything you actually need to live in a country just got destroyed. One of the longer-lasting impacts of the Civil War was that there was a large departure of human capital. If you could get out, you got out, and that was mostly the people who actually knew how to run a country. This is basically where we come in. Even though we're not fully trained businessmen, even though we're fully trained businessmen, like doctors, etc., yet we can still make a large impact on these countries. The rebuilding, we can help recreate basically and augment the human capital that was lost during the Civil War. Since Sierra Leone especially suffers from endemic corruption, in working with the people there and the government, we can basically try to modernize their government from basically a graph-based, personal-based system to a more modern, goal-oriented system. And the unemployment rates in these two countries currently sit somewhere around 85%. And the government seems to be funding the numbers, so it's probably most likely.
Okay, so who would participate? What makes this program special is that we want all F&M students to participate, whether it be students actually going to the countries or just helping prepare for the trips from campus here. Students would form teams in order to go to the trip, and the teams would be made up of students from all disciplines. We want to emphasize that this is not a program for only pre-med students, it's really for all disciplines. And it's keeping with the F&M liberal arts tradition. So F&M is a liberal arts school and prides itself on the fact that we are not specialized students, and we have knowledge in all areas. Members of the team would also include at least 2 professional doctors and a professor from F&M to serve as a team leader or supervisor. Here's a list of possible, just a few majors and minors, and I'll explain to you how they can participate. Obviously, pre-med students could provide medical assistance. They could help with health tips, examine diseases, evaluate health risks, and generally help the population health-wise. Government students could provide knowledge on how to improve existing governments or how to create new, effective ones. Foreign language students could serve as translators between the team members and the country's residents. Economics majors could investigate the status of the local economy and offer methods of improvement. Religious studies students could provide knowledge on different religions because in the countries that we're visiting, they do practice lots of different religions that some other team members may not have knowledge of. And business students would participate and engage in microfinancing, where loans would be given to individuals so they could in turn create businesses and thus create or improve the local economies. And environmental studies majors could teach the people how to sustainably propel themselves into the 20th century.
Our idea is for FNM to stretch beyond just these schools and eventually reach the whole campus. We want to incorporate all students along with faculty and alumni. The students and volunteers will be split up into teams of about 10 to 20. They'll be in pre-orchestrated groups and be paired with their own architect or EMT. They'll all be assigned customized objectives too, whether it's constructing houses, wells, schools, or hospitals. They'll all be working with the locals too to help improve relations. And they'll eventually kind of teach them their own methods and become self-sustainable as well. We have a lot of clubs and athletic teams that we can take advantage of that would send teams of about 10 to 20. Habitat for Humanity, for example, already has experience with this sort of thing. If they've worked with academic cares and like the local EMTs here, I think in combination with them they could make a great impact. Greek life here as well is composed of 7 fraternities and 3 sororities, which is about a third of the student population here. If they don't choose to send teams of 10 to 20, they can do local fundraisers on campus, which would help go towards all the projects there. And hopefully this would also improve relations between Greek life and administration and create a better community at FNM.
Well, what we'd have to do for that is we would have to revamp the pre-med track. Talking to some FNM students here about what they would like to improve, one of the things is once they get into the higher level, more concentrated courses, they don't have enough classrooms and the classrooms are a little small because you can add people to classrooms but you can't add Bunsen burners, facilities and stuff like that in your chemical labs or your bio labs. So we would like to create a few more classrooms and also hire a few more professors so we can teach in those classrooms and we can offer more sessions at more times so more people who are interested can do it, because that's one of the things that our college likes to do. If we want to pursue something, they want to let us pursue it. We'd also want to hire tutors for tests that help you get into medical school and grad school. For one example would be the MCATs. Because in this day and age, if you do not do well in the MCATs, you're not going to a good med school. And we want to prepare, at FNM, we want to prepare the students for life and not just for an undergraduate degree. We would also do a co-op program to help the medical students become more hands-on and able to do things when they get over to Africa. So we'd like to create a working relationship with Lancaster General Hospital. So basically that would be a co-op and people would be working one semester under doctors, basically getting hands-on experiences that you can be taught in classrooms but you can never actually feel it in a classroom because you're not going to be operating or seeing someone operate on someone or giving injections in a classroom where you would be seeing it in a hospital. And also we'd also have to add the doctors to the payroll. What we'd like to do is we'd like to see if we had any alumni doctors who would be interested in pursuing this, because it would create great alumni relations and bring them back into the school, and perhaps they would donate and connect us with the alumni better than we already are. And also if we couldn't fill it all with alumni, we would go into Lancaster General, because we would also like to bridge the gap between us and the community in Lancaster, because we are a college in that city and we would like to have good relations with the people outside the college.
Any questions? Yeah?
I was just wondering, how are you going to ensure student safety? You said you're just going to bring like professors, and I was wondering, like, will they have the potential to get sick themselves or even maybe killed by the crazy civil wars going on?
Definitely, definitely. I think what we would want to do is send in a team of professionals first to kind of scout out the area and choose exact locations. And they would kind of be people that are there all the time, like for years at a time. And so when the students come in, there would already be like a set thing going on. So it would just be a rotation of volunteers. So there would always be people there and always helping and keeping things safe, but the only thing that would change is 15 to 20 students going in at a time.
Also, we'd also like to do a thing with us. We see the soccer team has done Soccer Africa, so we'd like to take like a page out of their book. They've already gone into a semi-dangerous place in South Africa, so we'd like to see what they did first. And we've read up on what they've done, how they've done it, and we would like to use what they've done as safety measures and also ways to improve what we would do so the students and professors and faculty would be safe.
Furthermore, I'm sorry I didn't make that clear. The Civil Wars were long-lasting. It took about 20 years to work it out, but they end. Sierra Leone ended in about 2000, and Liberia, the Civil War ended in about 2003. So it's been stable.
sort of like an education, like, are they going there for a semester, or is it just like in the summer or something? So
Yeah.
if they're going there for a semester, what kind of educational things will they get?
Well, that's something that we talked about, and the sessions would be either summer, fall, or spring. But for the fall or spring, we kind of didn't like the idea of the kids having to take classes, because the whole point of this program is to help the communities that we're going to. So what they would do instead is create an independent project.